Shalom. All praises to the Most High, Yahawah, in the name of His only begotten Son. Tonight I have a gematria breakdown for you guys that I think is going to turn some heads. First, I wanted to give this little clip of one of my favorite shows growing up, Dragon Ball Z. I think that this speech that he gives is something that all of us can identify with. Listen to the words that he says.
To hear this, we worked so hard for him. We did everything he asked of us and more. He took me from my father when I was just a little boy. He made me do whatever he wanted and said he would kill my father if I didn't. I did everything he asked, but he killed him anyway, along with everyone else. He was scared of us. Scared.
He was scared of us. Frieza was scared of the Saiyans. And that's the same way how the powers that be are scared of us. It is time for us to rise up as so-called black people, as so-called brown people. We need to rise up and come back to our identity, because that is the only way out of this. Melanin is not going to save you. None of that woke stuff is going to save you. Only the Most High is going to save you. All those melanated people, all those Hotep niggas are going to all die. But if you find your Creator, if you find His Son, you will live forever. Now, before I start, I want to give you guys these dates to pay attention to. All of these numbers are very important when it comes to who the Israelites are. This is why they psyop people on these dates. So, for example, 42, very, very strong number with the Israelites. And of course, they had something on that date. It had to do with black people, of course, because 42 has to do mainly with the black American Israelites than it has to do with anyone else. And that's when they started to push that black people, they suffer from the coronavirus more than everyone else. So please, write these dates down. They're going to be in the description. Or do something to save them and pay attention to them. Put them on your phone. Pause the video, put them on your phone, or do it on your own time. Do something. But pay attention to these dates, please. But who knows if we're even going to get to these dates in the first place. It might just end all during this month. But we're going to see. But let's look at some vibrations. So if you guys have been on my channel and you've been paying attention, you know that I've been studying the two vibrations of 53 and 44. And I've been very successful at what I found thanks to the power of the Most High. So I found a lot of significant vibrations. I found smaller ones as far as 35 because they have to do with 53. You have Chicano and you have the last days. But that's just a small little thing. I haven't looked into 35 much. I haven't even saved it much. So, but that's me. I need to take my own advice when I tell you guys to save your notes. If I have time, I'll leave all of my notes in the description. It would be in an Excel file, or not an Excel file, but a Google Sheets file. And you guys can have them. You guys can do what you want with them. You can download it. I don't know. It's up to you. But I'm more than willing to share my notes with you guys. If you are trying to get into gematria, I highly suggest that you do. And you look up your own numbers so you're not surprised when they come knocking on your door, because they sure as hell will come knocking on my door very, very soon. So let's start off with 44. You have earthquake, warp speed. Going up here, you have ancient Mayas, black people, kill Enoch, Hamashiac, pink moon. Coming up here, you have Peruvians, Truman Show, must die now, black slaves. And we're going to go into a lot of the similarities, because if you're just looking at the screen, you will notice that there are a lot of similar numbers. And the biggest number or the number that has the most significance on this gematria page is 53. Every single one of these vibrations has 53 in it in some sort of way, other than, I think, Israel. But the rest of them all have 53 in it. So, of course, so it's mostly 44 and 53, or it can be 53 and 62. Or it can just be 53, like for Tikal and Chicano, it's both 53. But for the rest, it has, two numbers. So let's go through them. You have earthquake, warp speed, aboriginals, comet swan, Mayan Hebrews, ancient Incan, Aztec Hebrew, ancient Mayas, black people, kill Enoch, Hamashiac, pink moon, Negro angel, Atlas. I'm going to get into comets at the end of this video, or whenever I do. You have the last days. You have Comet Michael. You have Tikal. You have Mesoamerican, Azteca people. I'm reading this, but I want you guys to try to look at the similarities. Chicano, Peruvians, Truman Show. For example, look at Truman Show and look at the rest. You have 44, 53, 44, 53. That is a common theme here that you see. Black people, 44, 53, 44, 53. Warp speed, 44, 53, 44, 53. Earthquake, you get it. I keep seeing this same pattern. Must die now, 53, 44. Black slaves, 53, 44. And these are some new comets that are on their way this month. I think this is comet Purini. I'm not sure how to say that. Yeah, this comet that's coming. All these comets have 53 in them, literally. Or they have the 107, and that's the next number. You have the comet 88P Howell. Black slaves, Comet Michael, Pink Moon, Ancient Incan, Aboriginals, Warp Speed, Earthquake. The last, for 134, you have the last days, Mayan Hebrews, Comet Swan. For 62, you have Aboriginals, Comet Swan, Mayan Hebrews, Mesoamerican, Peruvians. And you also have Israel for 62. So these, if anyone does gematria, or you could just see, this is just too similar to each other. Everything is just too similar. This is chicanerous in nature. And even Israel and 144 both have 64. 64 and 64 down the line here. So let's move on. Now we're going to get into the murder of Ahmaud Arbery. Now let's look at these numbers. So for here, I just have three numbers mainly, which is 45, 54, and 63. Not much for 45, but more so for 54. Down here, you have Latinx Israel, Negro Angels, Indigenous, Georgia Man, Ahmaud Arbery. Look, 54, all the way down the list. For all the main ciphers. And then you also have Negro Angels. You have this is a comet that's coming this month, 54. May 27th, or May 27, Doomsday, 54. The Jungle Boy, 54. The Monkeys, 54. Now, looking at 54 in conjunction with, let's say, 63, you'll see that there are, you know, similarities there as well. You have Negro angels, indigenous, Negro, did I put Negro angels twice? Yeah, I did actually. I'm sorry about that. Latinx Israel. And then you have 54 for King David over here. Now, I want to show you 117 because so maybe some people forget or they don't know. But anytime you see 117 or 153, it means Israelites. Anytime you see these numbers right here, they all mean Israelites. You will always see these numbers, like 108. You see that number incredibly often. 117 especially though. So you have that here. You have it, and the Israelites are awoken. Kill all the Negroes soon. Social distancing 6 feet away. Seed of King David. Donald Trump turns the switch. This is from an article. So let's move on. I think the next number I have is actually 144. So you have Gregory and Travis McMichael, which are these two guys right here. Now, as far as the case, I'm not sure if it was a psyop because of how the person's name vibrated. If you haven't noticed, this person's name vibrates perfectly, or not perfectly, but you know, relatively well with Georgia Man. With the 54, you have the dual 54 vibrations, and you also have the 117. That's not a coincidence. And you have the rest of these Israelite numbers like 72 and 80 and 81 and 90 and 99. You see all of these numbers when it has to do with the Israelites. So to me, this is a psyop. But because, you know, this stuff tends to actually happen when we are living in a country full of Nephilims like these two people, you know, it wouldn't surprise me that that was the case. When hybrided animalized humanoid creatures are in the same areas as, you know, God's people, they tend to get rambunctious and start to take out their firearms. So it doesn't really surprise me. So I'm kind of battling with that. But maybe I should use my greater judgment and just say, yeah, this is probably a psyop. But anyway, 144 goes with the Black Panther, the Jungle Boy, Northern and Southern Kingdom, social distancing 6 feet away. The angels are coming this spring. September 6, 1995, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. I didn't mean to actually add that. I have a bunch of vibrations when it comes to 144, but I wasn't trying to add any of mine because that's not what this video is about. So my bad about that. We're opening our country again. This is from an article, and it's 4 144s. When I saw that, I did fall out my chair. Like I did. Excuse me. Despite Trump's reopening hype, this is from an article, 144. Trump's push to get to the economy back, 144. See, I'm seeing all of these 144s in random spots and articles when it has to do with Trump. Whenever it mentions Trump, I see 111 or 144 or 117 or 108 or 99. I'm just seeing all these Israelite numbers. I just can't believe it. It's also strange to me. Guess it's all a coincidence, right? Nothing is a coincidence. Nothing. Let's go to 135. You have Gregory and Travis McMichael. Hashtag justice for Ahmaud Arbery. Northern and Southern Kingdom. The Israelites are awoken. Trump's push to get the economy back. End of all mankind. Blessed seed. Seed of King David. the monkeys, the Israelites, Comet Michael and Gabriel kill the 144 of Israel. So you can see that 135 is a very prevalent number when it comes to the Israelites. Let's go to 111, which is not too many because I didn't really make that video about this. The elect seed, hunt and kill the Negroes. Donald Trump turns on the switch. You know, I didn't put that many, but that's also a prevalent number. Social distancing, Donald Trump, hunt and kill the Negroes, the elect seed, Puerto Ricans, Comet Atlas is headed this spring. So maybe you may be wondering, well, you know, what does this have to do with comets? Like, that seems kind of random, right? If you haven't watched my videos before, comets, they always signified doom or the changing of a new age. For example, the Star of Bethlehem that it speaks about in the Gospels is actually a comet, which is why Herod, King Herod, he was so antsy about killing so-called Christ. He was trying to kill him because he saw the comet in the sky, so he knew that he was the real deal. So that's why he went crazy and tried to kill him. The people in Europe, they saw signs in the skies, they saw comets and stuff, along with the Indians here right before they were killed. Before they were killed and, you know, scattered or enslaved in their own countries or made into what do they call them? Indentured servants. So they saw a bunch of signs in the sky before the destruction came. And many of those signs came by way of comets. So the comets are coming this spring because there's about to be a changing of the guard. What side do you want to be on? This is just some articles that I was getting some vibrations from. I've seen these vibrations, but they were like almost secondary vibrations that they just use a lot. Or maybe I just haven't found what they mean yet. So you don't have to look at these. But the reason, like, if you remember, I said Doomsday, May 27th. This is the reason, because of what they say. They say Comet Swan is coming May 27th. So I typed it in, Doomsday, May 27th, and I got 144. Let me see if I could find it again. Yes, May 27, Doomsday. Yeah, the 144, 54, 63. It seems too much of a coincidence for this to be the case. I'm going to leave this link in the description. This is a list of all the comets that are to come. You can play around with them. You can find some meaning in them. I've did most of the gematria on them. I've saved them into my bank. So if I get something else, I will keep you guys posted, but I advise you guys to, you know, start doing your own gematria. You know, get into it. If you don't know how to do it, this is the channel that I suggest. I suggest Yahi. You know, he's a great, you know, he has a great channel. So I suggest you guys subscribe to him. But anyway, that's about it. That's all I have for you guys. Let me see. Oh, only 19 minutes. Till the next one. Shalom.